Have you ever been to Mexico? Holy shit. That place is a shithole. Not the whole country, but a lot of it is a fucking shithole. And I'll tell you exactly why it's a shithole in this video. Now, if you were to go to Mexico, I assume it's because it's unregulated. And you love that shit. You love the cheap alcohol, cheap dental work, and cheap food that deregulation causes. I mean, that's the reason why people go to Mexico, and that's what stimulates its economy. That's why I went there last week, right, for the full week, is to get dental work done, because it's cheap there. That's because the government keeps their greedy hands off regulating basic goods. That makes Mexico pretty attractive to visit to. But I'll tell you exactly why Mexico is a shithole. And it's not because of a lack of government like a lot of people believe. It's because of government. The lack of regulations is new, and that's what's actually been improving their economy. The thing that makes Mexico suck as hard as it does is socialism. Most don't know this, but there was a recent 75 years strong where they were heavily socialist, and they're still recovering from that. This means that the government has partially or fully taken over some of the private sector jobs. Guns, drugs, healthcare, medicine, oil, gasoline. There's nothing really the government hasn't stolen from the private sector and has a direct monopoly on. I mean, what's freaking left? Just basic goods like food and drink and dental work? Oh wait, in the last 75 years they regulated the crap out of that shit too. So it's only recently they started removing the regulations on basic goods like food, drink, and dental work. But it's hard to build a thriving economy off those three things, off of just one thing really, basic goods. So what they need to do is take things that are in the public sector, the government sector, and put them in the private sector. For example, guns. Government should not have a monopoly on guns. That just allows criminals to have guns. We've seen how that works in Mexico. If you don't know how it works, basically good guys can't own guns, but bad guys don't obey laws, so they can go ahead and get their hands on guns if they want them. So suddenly all the good guys are disarmed and the only people that have guns are bad guys. See how that's a bad idea? If guns were legal in Mexico, that would create a lot of jobs. Not only that, it would create a lot of safety. All these cartels with guns can't just take advantage of everybody in Mexico anymore. Legalize things like marijuana. Do you have any idea what that would do for the economy in Mexico? Are you freaking kidding me? So yeah, legalize drugs. That'll help. Move oil and gasoline from the public sector and move it to the private sector. That'll create a lot of jobs. Make healthcare completely in the private sector. That'll create a lot of jobs as well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Mexico's corrupt government caused the problem. Yes, but the problem isn't just the government is corrupt. The problem is government is large and controls so much. Don't get me wrong, Mexico has corrupt government, but that simply happened because it's large. It's extremely important to understand all large governments become corrupt. The reason is because governments create rulers. Kings, essentially, who make the rules to protect us from corrupt citizens. Well, who watches the watchmen? Who regulates the rulers and makes sure they are not corrupt? No one. So government basically creates rulers who are accountable to no one, which always leads to corrupt government and lobbying, where any big business with money can write the laws. Some call them favors, but it's corruption. It's basically the market being monopolized in exchange for money. The freaking politicians are selling you out for money. This is why the poor have no money and the rich have it all. Now, is it money's fault? Is it capitalism's fault for this happening? No, the government caused it. Under a real free market, aka free from government, people are on an equal playing field. There were no rulers. It's government that creates rulers, chaos, and hierarchy. I know what's going to happen. Some will say, without big government, who will prevent monopolies from forming in an unregulated market? If there's no government keeping out competition, securing a monopoly, then competition can enter the marketplace at any time, destroying any monopoly that forms, and making sustaining a monopoly an impossibility. Okay, let's say you're in a capitalistic, unregulated, free market, meaning free from government, okay, and you have fidget spinners. What's going to stop somebody from selling fidget spinners too and stealing a piece of your pie? Nothing. Nothing could stop them. You have no government to lobby. See, if there was government, it would be a completely different story. You get a copyright, a patent. You could just ask for a favor from your favorite politician by donating some money. They'll literally write whatever law you want that will give you a monopoly and an advantage in the marketplace if you donate enough to that politician. See, with government, yeah, monopolies form, but without government, they don't. And if a natural monopoly does happen to form, it will only exist for a short amount of time until somebody realizes they can enter the marketplace and steal a piece of that pie. Again, what's going to fucking stop them from entering the market and stealing that monopoly? Nothing. Nothing at all. There's nothing protecting that monopoly anymore. Point is, capitalism is good. It prevents corruption because everyone is on an equal playing field. There is no rulers. There is no corruption. Another problem with Mexico is many citizens have a very toxic socialist outlook because the way the kids are indoctrinated in these socialist-style schools over there. They think food, shelter is a human right. They think big government is good and are taught to despise capitalism and successful businesses. Many Mexicans, not all, I can't stress that enough, but many see successful businesses that prop up in their communities and they spit on it. And then they see mediocrity in the government and they praise it. You see, praising mediocrity and shitting on success is not a way to get out of poverty. Also, people want bigger government that will hand out free stuff. But that always leads to more rulers and more corruption, worsening their problem of big government and corruption. However, some Mexicans want to escape all this. They hate the socialist attitudes of Mexico. They know it's the problem. They want to escape to America because it's more capitalistic, and that's why they come over to America illegally. Now again, some people will see the lack of regulation of Mexico today in the free market and think that's what caused its poverty. That lack of regulation is new. And it's what's been improving Mexico as of late, not what's caused its poverty. The 75 years of big government is what caused its poverty. Another big reason Mexico is poor is because banks won't loan out money. It used to be around only 7 million people owned credit cards in 2002, and this was due to the amount of regulations and the size of corrupt government. But since Mexico started to deregulate, the market now 22 million Mexicans own credit cards as of 2011, 3 times the amount since 2002. That's a pretty big jump pretty quickly. Mexico will hopefully in the future decide to take more of a capitalistic approach in the future and get away from all the socialism that destroyed their country in the first place. But here's hoping. If this video enlightened you at all, consider smashing that like button and the subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next episode.
Everything should be free.
Free, huh? Would you like a free helicopter ride?
You're damn skippy.
So, how do you feel about Karl Marx?
Oh, I love Marx. I survived, but god damn it hurt.
Yeah! How do you like them marks, bitch? The episode you just watched was completely funded by my Patreons who donate to me. If you would like to see more similar content, please consider donating to my Patreon as well. Link in the description box. If you can't donate anything, even $1 a month, then just consider smashing that like button. That helps too. Catch you on the next episode.